From deep within inside the Wrestle House, my name is Karl Karufel, and this is Turnbuckle Talk. Thank you so much to everybody for coming by once again for another edition of Turnbuckle Talk. This is episode 268, and I am so pleased that this just continues on. Even if it's just by myself, this continues on, and I absolutely freaking love it. We did get a comment right away while the introduction was happening, while the countdown to the show was happening, and I want to go to that. Big Ben says, great tune. Highly recommend Maven's song, however. All right. So I just want to make sure, Big Ben, if you're still here, let me know. Maven's song, is that an on-lap song, or is that something from a totally different artist? Let me know, because I love music and I definitely want to make sure that I am checking out some great freaking music. Please let me know. So there's a lot that's happened in the world of professional wrestling. A lot of stuff that has happened on television for professional wrestling. This here, I decided to title this something a little bit different this week, because I want to take things into a little bit of a different direction. You just have to find it. Now, what do I mean by you just have to find it? Well, that's exactly what I mean. You just have to find it. So we all know that professional wrestling is alive, and professional wrestling is well. From large companies like the WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and AEW, who have television contracts, from mid-sized companies like, and even some of these with television deals, but mid-sized companies like the NWA, ROH, Impact, GCW, MLW, and OVW. And then we get all the way further to the independent companies, or the indie companies, like some people like to refer to it. I generally prefer not. I don't like that word indie. I don't know. It just doesn't sound right to me. It's independent professional wrestling. Some of those companies: Canadian Wrestling's Elite, Ignite Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Chaotic, Capital City Championship Combat, and of course, we can't forget about Love Pro Wrestling either. So there's a lot others that I could name, but to be honest with you, if I were to, that would take up several hours of time talking about different professional wrestling companies and organizations. So I am not going to do that, just to save on time. But I did mention a few here, and there's even maybe one or two more that we might hear about during this show as well. Pro wrestling is out there. And this show comes about because I had a friend of mine come to me and say, where's all the pro wrestling at? I see a few shows on TV. Where's all the rest of it at? Now, granted, there is a lot of professional wrestling in Europe, over in the UK, Germany, Scotland, Ireland, Switzerland. There's companies all over the world that show professional wrestling, even in India. There's so much that's out there. You just have to find it. And it's easy enough to find today. With the age of the internet that we have, it's all available there for you. So there are even some that I was not aware of. And one of the last ones that I mentioned there was Capital City Championship Combat, or C4. Now, I came about this company because I am looking into a different career path for my shoot job. And I guess not one of the factors, but one of the things that I had looked at, because there's multiple areas across Ontario that are open for positions with this new venture that I'm looking at getting into. And I wanted to see if there was professional wrestling in that area. And I wanted to see that because here where I am right now, I don't have professional wrestling near me. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that. It would be about a 4-hour drive for me to go and watch professional wrestling. Now, when I was working as a professional wrestler, a 4-hour drive is nothing. But now, just to go as a fan, unfortunately, it's a little bit more. To be able to take the time, to take the day, to drive there. The show is going to be in the evening. Going to have to get a hotel room before driving back. So that's 2 days, essentially, that I'm going to need to take off just to go and watch a professional wrestling show. So I decided that if I get hired on, if I go through everything that I need to for this new career, then I want to be somewhere where there's going to be professional wrestling. So I looked a little deeper and I dug into some of the areas that I had looked at. I had a choice of 3 different areas as my top places that I would want to go and work at in my shoot job. So I found one company in one of the cities called Smash Wrestling. Now, I'm sure lots of people have heard of Smash Wrestling, especially if you're Canadian. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they've been running very many shows because of COVID restrictions from the venues. But this company, C4, they've been putting on shows, and they just recently even put on a show as well. And I was very intrigued. Kingston area. Okay, cool. Now, is there professional wrestling in Kingston? Is there a company in that area or close? Like, when I say close, I mean like an hour's drive. That's doable. That's workable. An hour's drive. 4 hours is not as easily done, but an hour and a half is a easy enough drive. So, is there anything in that area that is around for professional wrestling? Joe hopping in. Hey, my brother. I hope we've talked privately, but feel better, my friend. I know you will. You're strong. You're gonna kick out at 2. Definitely. Laura the man says, not at all. Got to go to Ottawa or TO. Minimum 2.5. See, that sucks. And the same for me. I mean, like I said, the closest for me is a 4-hour drive. The next after that, I'm heading in either into Southern Ontario or further away from me, like Thunder Bay, Ontario. And it sucks because I enjoy going and watching professional wrestling. So I did see this company, C4. And I saw that they had put on a show, and I was like, hey, I want to take a look into this. I want to delve into this a little bit further, and I want to see a little bit more about C4. Now, I'm not going to get into this big history about C4 and, all of this stuff. But what I am going to tell you is that they had multiple stars on their show that they just did. Now, I don't know if that's because it's almost like a comeback show from COVID or anything like that. But some of the names that were listed there, Holden Albright, who, if you have been a fan of Love Wrestling and Love Pro Wrestling, you know the name Holden Albright. But then there was Lufisto as well. An amazing female professional wrestler, Lufisto. You also had Evil Uno, show up as well. And Jonathan Gresham. So we had AEW star. We had a Ring of Honor star. We had probably one of the most prolific independent female professional wrestlers of all time, Lufisto, on that show. And it was just amazing. I have not seen the show yet, but there is a site that you can go to with the subscription, iwtv.live. I believe it's like $10 a month for the subscription, but it gets you so much independent wrestling. And this latest show from C4 is going to be one of them that's there. C4 actually has big news as well coming for their next show that's happening in about 3 weeks' time. So go and follow them on Twitter, C4 Wrestling, and you'll be able to see all of that news. But it's just, it's very, very odd to me, especially in today's day and age, that people still are coming up to me and asking me, where can I see professional wrestling outside of television? You just have to find it. It's so simple and easy enough. Because that's all I did. And then you can even use your Google machine and you can type in there independent professional wrestling in whatever province, whatever state, whatever territory, whatever area you are in, and you'll be able to find in your area. So it's very simple and easy enough. But I was absolutely blown away. And, okay, so Kevin Blackwood had a match with Jonathan Gresham. Over 20 minutes long. And the hype that I have seen from this matchup has been absolutely amazing. People saying that this is a contender for like an independent match of the year. Yeah, we're about halfway through the year, and this is a huge contender for that on an independent level. So there is more out there than just the WWE, AEW, right? There's so much more that's out there. We can all find it. We can all be a part of it as well by either purchasing a ticket to go to the show or by supporting them when they do like broadcasts, internet shows, which there are some companies that have been doing that. I know that my friend Danny over at Canadian Wrestling's Elite has done a few of those, and I have supported that because we need to support the independent scene when it comes to professional wrestling. There's not enough of that that's happening that is being talked about. It all seems very hush hush, and I wish it wasn't. I wish that we could all just speak openly and freely about the independent promotions that are out there. It's so great. It's so great. And I bring this up because when most people talk about wrestling or think about wrestling, they tend to think primarily that it's a United States thing. While there are some promotions there, and for some reason, the world seems to focus on the United States, there are still great companies that run in Canada as well. My case in point, C4, having AEW and ROH stars on their show, tells me that they believe in the Canadian wrestling scene as well. I was surprised to find out that that a promotion is still running, like I said, in a city 4 hours away from me, because I thought that it had dried up. but I'm glad that it didn't. It makes my heart happy. If you're watching this video, you kind of see a Turnbuckle Talk shirt that I am wearing, and it's not purple like usual. Astrid, I love you. How are you, my friend? This shirt is not purple. This shirt is black. Now, I did not dye my purple one. What I did is I went and bought a new one. And watching this video right now, you are going to see how you can be part of that as well. That's right. For all of yous who are listening, for all of yous, that's not even a word. Why would I say something like that? Yeah. For all of you that are just listening to the audio, yes, I know and I understand, and I'm going to change this up at some point. I'm going to get this done. You just heard audio playing. You just heard some music playing. Well, let me tell you what that was all about. That is for the official Turnbuckle Studios store that is open and available for business at karlkarufel.redbubble.com. That is where I got this new Turnbuckle Talk shirt. I as well picked up for myself a Beats and Beatdowns shirt and my F the Remsburg shirt as well. I wanted to pick up a few products just to see how they are, how the quality is, and so far, so good. So we talked about, knowing that there are other companies that are still running and how that made my heart happy. It would make my heart even happier if you would go and just make a purchase and pick up something from the Turnbuckle Studios shop, because there's Turnbuckle Studios logo stuff there as well. Plus, there is the Boar's Nest with Bubba Duke. There's a bunch of different things that are there. Let's go and check it out. Laura the Man says, I've been waiting for this for a long time. Canada needs more big-time wrestlers to come to town. Out west, some local independent shows are starting to. And that's, you know what? I think that is absolutely fantastic. And you're right. It is about time, because the world, and I say the world all over, seems to think and believe that professional wrestling is a United States thing. And Lucha Libre down in Mexico, right? A lot of people don't even know about New Japan. A lot of people don't know about these other promotions that are available out in Germany. Like my friend Jazzy, or the Alpha Female, running her company, Sirius, out there. There's so many different companies that are out there that we just need to find. We need to support. Supporting is the biggest thing. When a promoter is looking to bring in a big name talent, and we can say somebody like a Jonathan Gresham is a big name talent right now. When they're looking to bring in a big name talent, they need the funds to be able to do so. And where are they getting those funds? They're getting them from you guys making a purchase of a ticket, or purchasing a web show that they've done, or purchasing merchandise that they have made as well. All the support that you give them helps them and allows them to be able to bring these talents in. And then if there's a company that you specifically like that you are supporting, make sure that you're retweeting, you're sharing their stuff from Facebook, from Instagram, from the Twitter machine, from all of it. Because when you do that, then their name gets out there a little further. Their name gets a little bit bigger, and then these stars start recognizing and noticing those companies. So that's a good thing. It makes my heart happy to know that there is so much great stuff out there and so many great people that want to help and support as well. That's the biggest thing. Something that doesn't make my heart happy, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I do have to talk about this because this is something that very much so makes me angry. Big Ben is angry. Yeah, so is Karl right now. So there's a company, another independent company in Ontario called MCW. They did a show over the weekend. And this is a tweet that was put out. Okay. It says, folks, I try really hard not to ask for much. Last night, we at official MCW1, that's where you can find them on Twitter, had a great packed show in Brantford. Sometime during the main event, our heavyweight title was taken. This belt is very important to me, and I would love to have it back. Please retweet, and any help is so amazing. So this very much so angers me because why? Why? This is unacceptable. This is downright despicable. The audacity of some people to think that they can get away with something like this. And who knows? I'm not sure. I have not seen any updates on any information as to whether they have gotten the belt back or not. I don't know. I hope so. But I talked about help, and here's something that all of you can do to help. Go to my Twitter page at Karufel, and I have retweeted this tweet asking for the help. And it includes a picture of the championship. Now, Facebook Marketplace is a huge plethora of people selling things. Watch. And if you do see this championship on a Facebook Marketplace or eBay or anything like that, at official MCW, or MCW1, official MCW, the number 1 on Twitter, shoot them a message, screenshot it, let them know where it is. We all have our little parts to play. And if this is how we can do it to keep an eye out on the socials, that's the best way to do it. And just offer that little bit of help. I know with everybody sharing and everybody watching, we'll be able to find this championship and bring it back. It just angers me that somebody would have the nerve to do something like that. It pains me. It literally pains me to know that people can be that belligerent. Bobby, how you doing, my friend? He says, hello, I'm watching your show and NWA Power. I don't blame you. NWA is an amazing company, as we talked about a little bit in the beginning of this show. I love NWA. I do. If you guys don't know, I'm actually part of another show called Beats and Beatdowns that is here on Love Wrestling as well on Saturdays. It's pre-taped, so it is a pre-recorded show. And you can find the past episodes of Beats and Beatdowns on my YouTube page, Turnbuckle Studios. And we actually have one there on Billy Corgan, who is, the owner of the National Wrestling Alliance right now. So go and check that out too. I'd appreciate that. Beats and Beatdowns on my YouTube page comes out Sunday mornings. So that's how you can see that. Or if you want to see it as it's happening live, not live, but in its first run, its first production run, that happens twitch.tv/lovewrestlingca. And that happens Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bobby right now says that he is watching the Homicide versus Rhett Titus for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship on NWA Power. Both of those names are fantastic. Rhett Titus has been absolutely amazing. I remember Rhett Titus being part of Ring of Honor. Watching him there, it was absolutely fantastic. I like Rhett Titus. Homicide, legend, right? I mean, there's not much more you can say about Homicide, legend. 100%. There are legendary names in the world of professional wrestling. We all know them. Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake Roberts, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. And now we add another name to that list. Randy Orton. 20 years of Randy Orton. What a huge freaking accomplishment. And he is still working to this day. I look over to my left-hand side. It might show up as the right-hand side to you. I don't know. I look over to my left-hand side and I have an action figure set there. And it is an action figure set called the Youth Generation. The action figures in there, there's 6 of them, include Rene Dupree, Sylvain Grenier, John Cena, Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, and Randy Orton. Arguably, out of all of those names, yes, John Cena is the bigger name because he has gone on and he has moved on to the silver screen. Yes, he's moved on. I get it. Cool. But the biggest name in here for me is Randy Orton. A man who is still continuously wrestling, consistently working within the conglomerate known as the WWE. The other names that are there have fallen away a little bit, maybe not in so much limelight anymore. I know, like Rene Dupree, Sylvain Grenier, they do a little bit of stuff as well. Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, they dabble still, right? But it's not consistent. So a huge congratulations to Randy Orton for such an accomplishment. If you watched Monday Night Raw, then you know and you saw the admiration that was there for Randy Orton and what they did for him, and it was absolutely fantastic. Laura the man says, just a note on big time wrestlers coming to town. Hate to point fingers, AEW has numerous Canadian wrestlers and no shows in our beautiful country. Right? Right? Oh, Laura the man, 100%. You are correct in that. I had the opportunity at one time to actually talk with Cody Rhodes. And one of the things that I asked him was, Cody, I'm Canadian. When are you guys coming to Canada? And the response I got was, soon. Just wait. Yeah. It still hasn't happened. Not saying that I don't trust the words of Cody Rhodes, because there's lots of stuff that's happened since then. That was just before this pandemic stuff started, literally just before. So maybe things got pushed back a little bit, but you're right. With the amount of Canadian wrestlers that are in the company of All Elite Wrestling right now, you would figure that they would maybe want to up that a little bit to be able to bring the show, because they're traveling again. So travel to Canada and showcase some of your Canadian talent as well. Noob, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in. Yeah, 100% it sucks that they haven't come to Canada yet, because I definitely would buy a ticket. I would find, see, for the large companies like this, because I know that it costs them more to be able to put on production in a different country, right? I get that. Prices are going to be a little bit higher. They're going to maybe offer a package that allows, like, for a hotel room and stuff like that. That I would make like part of a trip, part of a vacation time that I can take at work. I would make that part of that. Get the time off, talk to the boss, and then include that into a vacation. I would do that. Right? Laura the Man says, I'm ready to start calling them out. LOL. Set up for 1 month and travel the country. Right? Right? I talked earlier about Canadian Wrestling's Elite, and my friend Danny over there, Danny does that. The CWF as well. They do that. The CWF tours. It's not like it's impossible for them to do. And the CWF even tours to places that are so remote in the Native community that it is so wonderful when they get some professional wrestling there, that it is huge. It is a huge thing for that to happen. So you're right, Laura the Man. You are right. AEW can do the same thing. That's all they have to do. Maybe we should start calling them out. Laura, this was something that you were thinking of doing. So I think what I want you to do for me is think of a hashtag. Paid in US. Sounds like a cheap trip for all involved, right? Think of a hashtag that we can put out there to the social verse to get AEW to come to Canada. I'm sure we can make it happen. So that's what I'd like for you to do for me, Laura the Man. Figure out a hashtag. And if you don't have one by the end of this show, that's perfectly fine. Come back next week and let me know what it is. And we will start that. We will get that going. I like that idea. I really do. Something else that I like. Oh, wait. Let me. That works. Hashtag Canada needs AEW. So there we go, everyone. That's what we're going to start using. And I'm going to write that down here. I got my show notes. We're going to write down hashtag Canada needs AEW. We're going to start using. Thank you so much. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, this is going to be pretty freaking cool. I love this idea right now. And I love Manscaped.
Support for Turnbuckle Talk, as heard on Love Wrestling, is brought to you by Manscaped. Who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world? Manscaped. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code LOVEWRESTLING at manscaped.com.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Wrestling, a love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand, the wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. 2 entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
And as I take a drink from my non-sponsored Dr. Pepper, take a look at that little graphic that I made there. You just have to find it. Absolutely amazing stuff from Manscaped, as well as from Collar and Elbow brand. You heard both of those commercials. We got to get the sponsors in. Manscaped, 20% off with the code LOVEWRESTLING and free worldwide shipping on anything that you purchase from there. collarandelbowbrand.com. Turnbuckle Talk. I am very happy, as always, to say that we are the first sponsored podcast from Collar and Elbow brand. And that feels so good to be the first one. Use the promo code JKPodcast at the checkout, and you're going to get 10% off anything that you add into your cart there. So thank you, Manscaped, and thank you, Collar and Elbow brand. Let's take a look at these comments here. We got Nightbot, F the Nightbot. That's what I say right now. Laura the Man says, anytime. El Tunzo Wrestling Ideas, 40 plus years watching and attending. That's fantastic. I love that. A lifelong fan. That's what it sounds like to me. A lifelong fan, just like myself. I've been a fan since I was 3 years old. It's in my blood. It always has been. We'll go into a little story time. If you haven't heard this on one of the past episodes, I'll give a quick, short story time. I got into the world of professional wrestling because of my Oma, grandmother in German. She was a professional wrestling fan. She would sit there and scream at the television if the good guy was losing. If the person that she liked was getting beat down, she would sit there and scream at the television and tell the heel, "You don't do that," in her thick German accent. And just the emotion that she showed when she was watching these shows gripped me, and I was enthralled. So I grew up with professional wrestling. Now my Oma lived in Winnipeg, Manitoba, which was like a 13, 14-hour drive away from where I am. So we didn't get to see each other very often, but we always shared that connection of professional wrestling. So I got into the world of professional wrestling because of my Oma. Now, when I was 13, I was having a birthday party. It was going to be my last birthday party, right? 13 years old. That's a good time for birthday parties to kind of stop where you have all your friends over and do the cake and, all of this and the party and whatever, all that bullshit. Well, we got a phone call during the party. And we found out that my Oma had passed away on my 13th birthday. So, of course, we were all very distraught. But I needed to do something to honor her and to honor her contribution to my love of wrestling. So, I did everything I could to become a professional wrestler, which, yes, on a very small scale and small level, I did. I won championships dedicated to my Oma. So, Oma, I love you and thank you so much for this passion that you put into me. And even when I was not able to compete anymore after my doctor said, please stop, I decided to get into this, writing and talking about professional wrestling. So I'm still keeping it alive. Still keeping it there. Still keeping it going for my Oma. I love you. Lifelong fan, I am as well. To finish out today, we've been talking a lot about the independent professional wrestling scene. And I want to mention that coming up very soon, April 29th, today is the 26th. We are 3 days away. If you were in the Edmonton, Alberta area, you want to go and check out the Rec Room on April 29th for a stacked card of some of the greatest independent stars from abroad and from close to home. As they descend into Love Pro Wrestling 3, we're a happy family. Oh, Bobby saying that Angelina Love was on NWA last Saturday. Nice. And on Power. I like that. I'm a fan of Angelina Love. I got a couple of her photos up on my wall. Love her. The genius. Thank you so much. It's not just a story. It's the damn truth. It 100%. It is 100% true. That's what happened. And yeah, that's why I keep my love and my passion alive. For her memory, for her honor. That's what I continue to do it for. But thank you very much for commenting. Laura the Man saying the legacy Stu Hart via my German grandpa. Grandma's rule, lost mine at 12 also. Thank you. Enjoyed myself. You're so welcome. You're welcome back anytime. Anytime, because you guys aren't just viewers when it comes to this show of Turnbuckle Talk. All of you are my co-hosts. You are. That's the way it is. It's because of the conversations that you guys put into the comment section that help drive this program. This isn't as much as I say that this is a solo show because mine is really the only face that's on here. I get it. I'm the only face, but it's because of you, all of my co-hosts, that the conversations just keep going and sometimes go into a totally different direction than I even had planned. Like that's happened today, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I love it. I love it. Ed, whoa. Hold up here. Ed says, I didn't get my notification. Thought it was an 8 p.m. show. Hope you've had a good show. I definitely have, Ed. Thanks for popping in. I do appreciate that. Ed has been a constant when it comes to this as well over the last little while I have been with Love Wrestling and really on my own as well. Not that he wasn't when Mighty Joe or Big Joe or Corporate Joe or whatever Joe you want to call him. He was part of the show as well, right? But yeah, Ed, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Bobby saying that Angelina Love is actually wrestling now on Power. Thank you very much for letting me know that. I have to catch up on my NWA Power. It has been a little while. Again, with all this professional wrestling that's out there, it's so hard to be able to keep up on absolutely everything. So thank you, Bobby, for letting me know that. Throwback. Good to see you, my friend. Says, what's good, boss? How was your day? My day was great. I had the day off today. I had time to prepare for the show. I had time to do a few other things. I still have a lot that I have to do. I go back to work tomorrow for 7 o'clock in the morning, but I'm going to get things done. I definitely am. They're going to be getting things done in Edmonton in the next 3 days here. We're talking the Love Pro Wrestling 3. We're a happy family. See that? It rhymes. It definitely rhymes. This is going to be a fantastic show as well, as the last two have been. I'm so looking forward to this. And I'm going to just run through the card here really quick for everyone. The matches include Travis Williams versus Stephen Crow, Magnificent Mitch Clark versus Lumberjack Larry Woods, the Voros twins. If you're not following them on the socials, what's wrong with you? Go and follow them. Versus Mars the Specialist and Sheik Shabazz. Very cool. This one I'm very excited for. A women's matchup. Casey Spinelli, Ava Lawless, Zoe Sager, and Nicole Matthews. My heart pounds every time I even say her name. In a fatal four-way. Oh, see, she got me all flustered there. She's not even here. A fatal four-way matchup. Unbelievable. We have got Taryn from accounting taking on my friend Chris Parrish for the Love Pro Wrestling Championship. We have got the protege and tag team partner of Chris Parrish, son of Irish, taking on Rich King. You're right, that Rich King from RK Athletics. Yes, go and check them out as well at RK Athletics 1. That Rich King. That's going to be a fantastic matchup. Jack Pride versus Mo Jabari. And the main event, what I'm understanding to be the main event right now, is going to be Ravenous Randy Myers taking on Michael Richard Blaze. Holy shitballs. Okay. Just the names that are included in this are freaking fantastic. I'm hoping at some point that, as Love Wrestling has done in the past, that it is going to be shown even just in clips on Twitter, right? Like, please, boss, Spencer, if you were listening, I would love to see that. Or if you have some way of showing me the entire show, please do so, because I would love to see this, especially that fatal four-way, especially my friend Parrish taking on Taryn from accounting, and then Michael Richard Blaze and Ravenous Randy Myers. My God. JBJ, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you here. He says, what's up? Been listening while at work. Great show so far, per usual. Well, thank you so much. The show is coming to a close. It has been that close to that hour mark. Bobby saying, what's up to JPJ? And then, Corporate Joe popping in. Hey, nice shirt. I think I've seen that before. Yeah, you definitely have. I think you even still own one. If you want to own one, karlkarufel.redbubble.com. That's where you can go to purchase it up. It's all in Canadian funds, so if you're a Canadian, it makes it real nice and easy. Shipping comes from Southern Ontario. That's where mine came from anyways. Quick shipping as well. Obviously, Canada Post doesn't work on the weekends for some stupid reason, so I had to wait the entire weekend, but I ordered it on a Thursday, and I got it Monday. So not too bad. If you're in the area of Edmonton, Alberta, go and check out this show, this LPW show. Yeah, like that's going to be fantastic. Please do that. Bobby, I really don't know. Again, I'm so far behind right now that I really need to catch up and see who's there that would be good enough to be able to do such a thing. Bobby's asking Karl, who do you want to see wrestle against Angelina Love in the NWA? Joe, thank you, brother. Yeah, always helping with that segues. Oh, this has been absolutely fantastic, guys. thank you so much for myself, Karl Karufel, and for the entire team that is here when it comes to Turnbuckle Studios. We say thank you. We love you. And again, as always, take care of each other.